Hello, welcome to the axolotl painting class tutorial. I'm Artsy Alley and I'm so excited to paint this little creature with you. So let's go over our supplies. We're going to have some blue, green, yellow, black, pink, and white paint, a detailed brush, a small and medium paintbrush, and a large paintbrush. Also, you're going to have some paper towels for cleaning our paintbrushes as we go. You're also going to need a cup of water to rinse out your paintbrushes. As we are painting, you're going to want to go ahead and clean those brushes so you don't put any of the wrong paint on your palette. Remember, less paint works better. Acrylic paint works wonderful in layering. So if we want to add it a little darker, then we just add a little bit more paint after it dries. I'm here to guide you step by step, and we are going to begin painting. Let's go ahead with our large paintbrush. We are going to fill in our background, and I'm going to go in and put some blue paint, give it a little mixture here. And I'm going to go ahead very lightly around my axolotl. I'm going to say that word wrong probably this whole tutorial. But I just thought this was such a cute creature, and I wanted to go ahead and create one for everyone. So I'm just going around my little tail here. See how I'm just using the edge of my paintbrush? So I'm just gliding it and still not picking up any more paint. If there is paint coming off your paintbrush, there is no need to grab any more. I'm going to go ahead just with the edge. And if you get a little paint inside the sketch, that's okay. After paint dries, you can go ahead and cover it up with just more paint. And also, sometimes they're just like happy accidents and working as shadows. Just going right in between. Oops, a little hair there, a little bristle. And if you want, you can always go in with the smaller paintbrush in between those little areas. I think I'll actually do that. Go in with the smaller flat brush here. Ah, perfect. Especially since we've got all these little zigzaggy lines. Just smooth that out. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the ones on this side as well. And just gliding. Glide right around the top of the head here. And remember, you can pause this video at any time. Everybody works in different time frames. And if you want to take more time, just go ahead and pause the video and just glide right around. I'm just gliding my paint right around those areas in between. Just picking up a little bit of paint at a time. So excited you decided to paint with me today. It's my favorite hobby in the world. Coming out super cute already. I'm going to glide that right around. And I'm even going to glide it right around the fish as well. If you get a little tiny section, just turn your paintbrush on its side and create a nice little edge there. In all of my tutorials, I like to show you how to do dry brushing, shading, and highlighting. Really make our paintings stand out. Just lightly going around my little fish here. Super cute. And while I'm at it, I might as well go around my little bubbles too. I just placed my large paintbrush in the water. I'm going to go ahead and get that ready so we can fill in the rest of the large area. That way it leaves nice brush strokes. And just zooming that right around those areas. Perfect. Let's go ahead and rinse off the little paintbrush. And with your paper towels, just go ahead and dry those bristles. So be ready for what we need for the next step. Before using my large paintbrush, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure it's dry. And now I can go in and just fan that all the way around. Pick up a little bit of paint as needed. Just swishing that all around. It's great to go around your sketched area lines first, so that way you have more freedom and fun with using your large paintbrush. You don't have to worry about getting it on those sketch lines. I don't want to pick up any more paint until the paint is already off of my paintbrush here. What happens if you use too much paint at a time, the molecules inside the paint can't adhere to the canvas as well. So it's much nicer going over it in different layers. So now we're just filling in all of those areas that are not sketched. Our little creature's already starting to pop out, and we haven't even painted it in yet. I have a little bit more in this area. So cute. I love seeing a blank canvas come to life. Once we stop putting all those colors on there. And I'm just giving it just a little swoosh all over all my areas. Great. Let me go ahead and wash off my large paintbrush here. Make sure I dry those bristles. And now I'm going to go ahead in with my smaller paintbrush, the flat brush, and I'm going to go into my pink paint. And now I'm going to go and, let's see, on these outer areas, I'm going to go ahead and fill those in. Right in through here, not the middle part, just the outside. Oh, what a pretty color. See that little middle section? I'm going to go ahead and leave that unpainted. Perfect. And go. And if you want to create different shapes on your areas here, you could go ahead and make it any way you like. This is just the way I designed it. But if you want to add, like, say, another little swoosh here, feel free to do that. Be creative. Your painting does not have to look just like mine. You want it to look just like what you want it to be. That's what makes art fun. We don't want to copy everybody. Make it nice and unique, just like you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to this area now. Let's start over here. And see, I'm not picking up too much paint, just enough to control. If this paint's still coming off my bristles, I'm not picking it up. Just tapping a little bit on my paintbrush, grabbing some paint. Now this little line down here I left blank just so you can go ahead and add your own little flair in there. Go ahead and create your little swooshes any way you like. And just adding a little curves there. So cute. Okay, and the next part, let's see, for this, I'm going to go ahead and in this mouth area, right in the center here, I'm going to paint just a little dab there. Now I'm going to go ahead and make sure I got all those little white pieces. Perfect. Now I want to go ahead and make this pink a little bit lighter. So with my white paint, I'm going to go ahead and put 1, 2, maybe 3 scoops there. And a little bit of the pink. And I'm going to mix that around. I love mixing colors to create my own. So just making that pink a little bit lighter. That looks perfect. Perfect color. See how I'm going to press my paintbrush down a little bit and give it a twirl. That squeezes all the little paints out inside of the bristles. And now I'm going to go ahead and go on the inside. of those little flary things and just smooth it out. Get it right in there. Just picking up a little bit of paint at a time. Perfect. Now go ahead and we're going to paint around the eyes, the little nostrils, and the mouth area. And remember, you can pause this video at any time to work at your own pace. I'm just spreading that till no more paint comes off my bristles. Carefully going around my eyes. Remember, it's okay if you do get a little bit in there, because once it dries, you can just paint right around it. Just putting my paintbrush, holding it at an angle. Right around those little sketch lines. I've never seen one of these little creatures in real life. Has anybody ever seen one of these? Must be pretty cool. Maybe someday I will. Just smooth that right out. So cute. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on the body area. Same thing. I'm going to go around the tail though. I'm going to make the tail a little different shade. Just pick up a little bit of paint, spread that out. This part of the tail, right in through here, you can go ahead and paint it that lighter pink. The little webbed fingers go right around them. So cute. And while this is still wet, I'm going to pick up some of the darker pink and mix it a little bit into that lighter pink I made. And I'm going to go right under the neck area here, creating a beautiful shadow. And that's going to be the start of your creating more dimension, really making your painting pop out. And I'm also going to go around the body. All where my shadows are going to be underneath this leg here. Just tapping a little bit in. So all I do is just take a little bit of that darker pink and mix it with that lighter pink I made on this back tail, this part. I'm going to swoosh that right around. And just glide it right in. Perfect. Another shadow will be here under the arm. A little bit in between the fingers here. And a little bit on the little webbed fingers over there. Go ahead and give it a little swoosh of that darker pink right underneath the face here. I'm just going to fan it out. Give it a nice curved brush stroke here. Super cute. Okay, and I am going to do another one on this side of the head here. Right around. Okay. Now let's go ahead and rinse our paintbrush off. Oh, actually I could see a little bit in between these toes here. We can use a little shadow there. Perfect. I'm going to rinse that paintbrush off really well, dry my bristles with my cloth, and let's see. Next color, we're going to go ahead and start doing the eyes because it might need a few coats on that, so we can go ahead and oops, let me just open this paint real quick. Okay, got it. And right near I'm going to go ahead and put my dark blue right there, my little spot. And let's see, let's go in with our little detailed brush and pick up some of that dark blue paint. And we're going to go on the outside of the eye. Very light pressure. When you're doing detailed work, you do not want to give your paintbrush too much pressure because then it makes the paint spread. So just going right around. Very light pressure. Fill in that sketch line. And remember, it does not have to look just like mine. You can go ahead and create that any way you like. Now I'm going to just tap into the white a little bit and just glide that around. See how it just gives a nice little highlight here. More movement. I'm going to do the same on the other eye. Grab my dark blue paint. I'm going to go all the way around the eye. Very light pressure. And see, I'm trying to make my paintbrush go nice smooth strokes instead of little. That way it gives a nice smooth line. And then just tap my paintbrush, just the tip, very little tiny tip, very little. And I'm just going to swoosh it all around that blue. I'm just going to smooth that out. Perfect. Now I'm going to go into my black paint and I'm going to fill in the whole rest of the circle. Because we want to let that dry really nicely while we work on the rest of our masterpiece here. Oh my gosh, so cute. Don't forget to send me pictures of how yours turned out. I love to see everybody's work. And just filling in that circle. Then we'll add the highlights afterwards when it dries. Little bit of paint. Does not take much at all. Just make sure you got the little white edges there. And don't worry about if you want to put a little bit more blue or whites. We will add all that in after this dries now. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and rinse off my little paintbrush. Make sure that you could reuse these paintbrushes many times. So I want to go ahead and, with the darker pink, I'm going to go ahead and use my little detailed brush again. I'm going to fill in my nostril area. Fill those in. And also the inside of the mouth. So I'm going to take a little touch, little tap of that black, and I'm going to mix it with the pink to get a darker texture here, but I didn't want it to be so black. And then, so right around this color here. And then go ahead inside the mouth area. Almost looks like a little brown. And just fill that in. Go right over your little smile. Very, very light pressure for this part. And go right over the top and right underneath a little bit. Oh my goodness, super, super cute. And while I have this little color here, I'm going to go ahead on underneath to create more dimension here. See that? Look how that just popped out. That's amazing. Just on the underneath part. Just on the underneath. Really make that pop out. Just underneath. If you need a little bit more paint, you can go ahead and Add that right in. I like to give it a little scroll so there's not too much on there. So just take your paintbrush, roll it, and then the paint, only a very little bit will be on there. Oh my goodness, that just makes it pop out so much more. Remember, pause this tutorial at any time. Okay, it looks like our eyes are starting to dry up nicely. Underneath the nostrils, underneath as well, I'm going to put in that same color, creating a shadow there as well, giving it some depth. And underneath this belly, I'm going to just give it a swoosh. Right around from under the head area and just swoosh it in. So cute. A little bit under the head here. Under the shadow we put under the foot and the hand. Underneath the shadow of the tail. Right under that darker pink color we put in. Perfect. Now on the outside, you can go ahead and swoosh it right around. Just on the outside here. Right underneath, give it a cute little swoosh. Maybe give them a little bit under the little fingers here, a little shadow. Where that tail is coming right out. So cute. Also right underneath the head area on this back, let's put in a little shadow there. Love it. Okay, now the next part we're going to do is the inside of this tail area. So what I want to do is I'm going to go in with my small flat brush, and I'm going to grab some white paint. And I'm going to tap it into the light blue. Just to darken up that white a little bit. Just take a little bit of that blue. And now I'm going to go over, let's see, oh that's perfect. Just what I wanted. Just a light little fan. Fan of a tail. Take some white, go into your lighter blue. And just fan it through. So what that does is that creates the illusion that you can see the water through this part of the tail. And also, I want to go in between the belly and the tail here. See that? In between the belly and the tail. Love it. Love it. Painting makes me way happy. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse that off now. And I'm going to go into, with my detail brush, I'm going to go ahead with some of that darker pink. Just lighten up just a little bit. Just a little bit. And you just mix it till your heart is ready and you know that it's going to be the color that you want. So on this, I have some little, just making little squiggly lines. Just so you can see some of that pink coming through. You can still tell that it's part of the tail. It's just transparent. So I'm just making a few little squiggly lines. Excellent. So while we let that all dry up, let's go ahead and rinse that off. And I want to go in with my flat brush and the darker blue. I'm going to go ahead and put that in a little area, and some white, pick up some white, and I'm going to make that really, really light. Probably about that consistency should be good. Pretty. Okay, and let's go ahead and fill in our bubbles with that color. Oh, that's great. Just what I wanted. And just fill that in. Oh, maybe it could be a little lighter, this one. A little bubbles in the water. Just kind of going in circular motions, just filling that in. And if you want to make your bubbles bigger at this point or smoother, you can go ahead and do that, because that background is completely dry by now. And if it's not, you can always have someone use a blow dryer and hold it on cool setting away from, about 12 inches away from the painting, and then dries real quick like that as well. Okay, so now we have the blue on there. I'm not going to rinse out my paintbrush, but I'm going to go right into my white paint, and on the left side of these bubbles, I'm going to go ahead and give it a swoosh. See that? Just a swoosh all on the left side. So I got my white and the blue still on there, and I'm giving it a swoosh. And this is going to create so much dimension and movement in your painting. Just go right on the left side of the bubble and swoosh it out. Just like a C. Nice swoosh. Perfect. I think I got them all. All right, let's let those dry a little bit. Rinse that paintbrush off. Now I'm going to go into my yellow paint to paint in my fish. So yellow paint is kind of transparent. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of white and a little bit of yellow and just paint right over my fish here. Oops, got a little bit on my painting. That's why I pick up a little bit of paint, not too much. Boy, that yellow really makes everything pop. Pick up a little bit of paint and go ahead and fill my other one. Using mostly the edge of my paintbrush because it's so tiny. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of white. The white just helps it really pop out more. A little bit of white, tap and tap into the yellow. Smooth that right in. So cute. Now, I just rinsed off my paintbrush. What I'm going to do now is I am going to tap into the yellow paint. But on the corner here, I'm going to tap half of that paint off. What I want to do is go on these little, let me see. Okay, tap into the yellow, and then with the corner of your bristles, you're going to just tap into the little floaty thing on the sides. And you do that on each one. And just go ahead and tap it. So cute. Just making them stand out more, have more movement. If it doesn't happen to be dry, you can always use a blow dryer, or you can let it just dry on its own. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and rinse that off now. You think my eyes is still drying a little bit? Oh, actually they might be ready. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and with my little detailed brush, I'm going to scoop up some nice white paint in there, and I'm going to give it a little dot right where direction I want her to be looking. On each eye. So cute. And if you want to go ahead and go around that blue area again, smooth it out. Always looks nice with a second coat on there once it dries. Okay, and while we have that, if you have blue on your paint bristles, you can go ahead and just give a few little swooshes in the transparent tail part. Just a few. Giving it even more movement. Looks like the water's just flowing right around. Okay, let's rinse off that. We are almost done. We're going to go ahead and with a flat brush, I'm going to tap into my white and tap into the pink. And I'm going to make a little cute little plant in this water. Just floating around. Pick up some white. Pick up some green. Maybe I'll even tap into some yellow. And see what that does. Or just green and yellow. Mix it up. Have fun with it. Just glide it down. You can make this as creative as you like. You can put in more plants, less plants, however you feel you want to have around your little creature here. Cute. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead with my detailed brush, and I am going to go into my black paint, and I am going to dab right here for my fish's eye. Very, very light touch on both of those fish here. Oh, that one looks a little angry. Let's smooth it out rounded. So cute. Okay, and what else did I want to do? On these bubbles, you're going to go ahead, very light touch. We're going to go ahead and go right around. Really make those bubbles pop. Right around. Swoosh and swoosh. Just dot a little bit of paint and swoosh it right around. I'm going to give a little bit of a shadow with that black paint, a little bit more under the nostril there. And if you want to add more bubbles or more details, feel free, have fun with it, make this painting your own. I am going to go ahead and sign my name now. I just tap into and write artsy. You can sign your painting on the back, you can sign it on the front. And let's see. Actually, I have one more thing I want to do. Underneath the blue part of the eye, with my detailed brush and a little bit of black paint, I'm just going to go carefully right around. Make those pop out a little bit more. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for painting with me today. I look forward to seeing your work and having you join my other tutorials. I will see you next time. Bye.